Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. You're not going to believe this, but we're going camping. We got the 4Runner loaded up and we're on our way to the National Forest. We got a cool spot here. My son's camped here before, but I haven't. I've been using this same tent for the last 17 years. It's a 6-person Cabela's Alaskan guide tent. It's a geodesic dome tent with 6 main poles. Full rain fly. It's a true 4-season tent. All right.
There we go.
All right, I got my son helping me out, and he's staking out the rainfly right now. There's 18 stakes on the rainfly alone. By myself, it usually takes me about 45-50 minutes to get the tent all set up and the rainfly staked completely out. And I do that every time now because I've skimped on staking out the rainfly before and then had winds come up and bend poles. So I always put the rainfly on and I always stake it all the way out. So while he's doing that, I'll be right back. So normally I wait until camp is set up to have my beer. But since I got the kid working for me back there, I'm going to go ahead and crack this open now. I'm going to go ahead and use the Mighty Light tonight. Forecast, I guess, is about 40 degrees, and that's what it's rated to. So it'll be a real good test. What a good kid. So I wanted to show you guys my tent over there. I selected a spot that appeared to be really flat. I mean, if you look at it, this looks like a flat campsite. How could you go wrong? In the mountains where everything's on level, your eyes can play tricks on you. Kind of dark in here. So I just wanted to show you, I use a level app on my phone. And I just throw it on my pad, move it around, and shim up the base until I got a nice level surface. But if I had just looked at the site and thought, oh, that's level, I could have woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning with all the blood rushing to my head and sliding out of my sleeping bag. So it's just a little thing I do every time as I level my cot to make sure I get as good a night's sleep as possible. So I just wanted to show you, this is the inside of my tent. I've got a ton of room in here. I can stand up. The center of the tent is 6'3". I can walk a small circle in the center of the tent, stretch my legs, stretch my back. It's really nice to be able to stand up in a tent. This works great for me. And like I say, I think I'm going into my 18th season with this tent. I use it every time. This is my go-to shelter. It's quite a handful for one person to set up. But I've been practicing for close to 2 decades now, and I think I got it down. I have set it up in 70-mile-an-hour winds, in the dark, in the cold, by myself. So it's doable. So it's a 6-person tent, but it works great as a 1-person cabin for me. I got all the room I need to put all my gear inside the tent. I don't have to use the vestibules at all. I do my cooking in here. I can set my rocking chair up with my footstool, which is actually a little camp table. My oldest son just bought a 10-person insulated ice fishing tent. And we're now using that as our community tent when me and the boys go out winter camping. But before he purchased that, we spent years sitting inside here, all three of us. I just take my cot out for the evening, and we all three can sit in here and have a heater and have a great time. This is my standard sleep system here. I've got my Cabela's Alaskan Guide cot. I've got my Exped Mega Mat on top of that. And I supposed to get down to 40 tonight, so I've got the 40-degree Western Mountaineering Mighty Light tonight. I'm going to do a field review on this. And we're up here for 5 days, 4 nights, and we're going to have varied weather. We're going to have some rain. Saturday night's supposed to get down in the 30s, so this is a great first trip of the season. I'm just stoked that I'm up here. And being able to spend some time with my son, that's just icing on the cake. I cook in here, and this is a stove I use. So this is a Coleman stove. Works with a 1-pound propane cylinder. I've been using these for 30 years. Like I say, weight and space isn't much of a concern for me, but I found that they work really, really well and super easy. Don't have to mess with alcohol and such. I'm not backpacking this, but what a little workhorse this is. Got this little pepper packet from the Flatiron Pepper Company. I'm going to save half of it for my other 3 eggs for breakfast one morning. There we go. Scrambled eggs for dinner. Alrighty. Dinner. Very hot. Tastes a bit like a flour tortilla. Crunchy.
I was thinking about with you having it in.
It's 46.5 degrees right now, and it's 9:20 p.m. So I'm tired. I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna turn the light off. Good night. Oh, good morning, everybody. It's 6:30 a.m. I'm gonna get some coffee going. I'll take care of a nature call, and then I'll talk about how the night went. It's 40 degrees out right now. The low last night was 38.6. And that occurred at 3:14 a.m. But I slept warm and comfortable. I was not cold. I ditched the balaclava and the cap first thing. It was just too warm. I slept all night without any head or neck covering, and I was warm.
I think old Monty, he hobbled around forever and just kept going.
Yeah, I really admire him because he just really humble. He doesn't complain. He just cares about others.
Yeah, I miss Monty.
Yeah. Those are pizza rolls.
Pizza rolls. Yeah.
Okay. Looking forward to those, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Raining all night. It's the third morning, and the Western Mountaineering Mighty Light has kept me plenty warm through all of it. It is just a super, super little sleeping bag. So I made myself some coffee here. It's really beautiful out there. Kind of cool and wet. It rained off and on lightly all night last night. And it got down to about 40 degrees. Did you hear them owls this morning? You didn't? Oh, you must have been asleep. We had a hoot owl fairly close by, and he'd go, whoo, whoo, whoo. And then right after that, in the distance, there'd be one go, whoo, 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 whoo. And then he'd go, whoo, whoo, whoo. And that went on for half an hour. And then there was a third owl at one point in time, and then I listened to him, move off into the distance, and that was pretty cool. Man, it's hard to believe we've been up here for 3 days already. Just so peaceful and relaxing. Couldn't imagine trying to walk up that gully there.
I walked up to where that first 10-foot whatever where the rock stopped there.
Right.
And then I could have gone further, but I didn't want to. It starts getting sketchy after.
Yeah, I think it's a game trail and a water runoff. I think a cat can handle that just fine, or a deer, but I couldn't. Marmot tent my son got behind me here. It's one of the perks of working in the salvage business. Junk removal. Yeah, a Marmot tent for free. Doesn't leak. How about that? My tent doesn't leak either. That's awesome.
That I'm actually kind of impressed by, being as old as it is. 'Cause
yeah,
that's what's wrong with my two tents. I think is just the seam seal just got old and cracked and
sure. Yeah, mine never has.
yeah. For me, like moving around, doing stuff, I keep warm, and then I get done, and then I stand here, and then I get chilled, and it's like I find something to move around to do. But yeah, I was just thinking about how I got my thermals, my Sherpa fleece, and my windproof fleece, and that's a pretty good. Like it's pretty much been between 40 and 70 all weekend.
Right.
I think that's a good level of clothes for that temperature.
Yeah, it looks like a good get up.
Yeah.
That one underneath the jacket, the North Face.
Yeah.
That's Sherpa, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah, I really like it. Got it from the thrift store.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Sleeping bag ratings were like really accurate for me. Like if they said 0, then that's what it would be rated to. Now I prefer to have like a 10-degree buffer.
Nice little forested area here. One of the first days of fall. This spot and this area in general is something that I can access really quickly and well from home in the wintertime. This is just another piece of colorful Colorado. There's a campus up the road about 12 miles. So we're not too far off the road, but there's not a lot of traffic today. So it's real nice, peaceful area. Got everything we need back there, and probably a little bit that we don't. You can see that pine squirrel behind me? He's got a cache of pine cones like you wouldn't believe. Look at him. He's got a pine cone in his mouth, and then he's got a shitload of them down here. And he's looking to me because he thinks I might have something that he wants more than a pine cone. Well, it's hard to believe that it's the end of the 4th day, and we're going to be leaving in the morning. I've really been pleased with my Western Mountaineering Mighty Light. I've slept on it every night in conjunction with my Exped Megamat and my Cabela's Alaskan Guide Cot. inside my Cabela's 6-person Alaskan guide tent. This is such a sweet setup. All I did was wear a light polyester base layer every night. And the first night got down to 38. The second night got down to 37. And then last night got down to 40. And then tonight will be whatever it is, probably right around what we've been experiencing. But I've stayed plenty warm in that. Plenty warm. I also found that I didn't require any headgear. I didn't have a cap or neck gaiter on any of the nights. And my head and neck didn't feel cold at all. So yeah. I guess I'll call it a night. See you guys in the morning. Well, it's the 4th morning. I'll be leaving today. Last night was the coldest night, 36 degrees. But the temperatures here, overnight lows were 36, 37, 38, and 40. And I slept in the mighty light every time. And it was very comfortable and warm, except for about 4 o'clock this morning. It was a little cool on my backside. But other than that, it's been a great trip. Have a little breakfast and then pack out and go home. But it was an awesome first trip. And I'll see you guys on the next video.